Sasaengs are the worst part of K-pop who don't hesitate to go great lengths to traumatize idols, whether it's by continuous stalking, leaking private information, or by posing threats to their lives. And they don't stop there. These sasaengs also go around trading information about idols' whereabouts or personal lives for hundreds of dollars. In today's video, we will be talking about some of the worst things sasaengs have done. Yunho Car Accident. Sasaengs just want to be close to their idols at any cost. These quests sometimes leave idols in some very serious, life-threatening situations. In 2006, Super Junior's Kim Hee-chul was in one such situation. After attending the funeral of the father of his co-member Dong-hae, he met a traffic accident when the tire of his car malfunctioned. Hee-chul's leg broke and 7 rods had to be inserted into his left ankle, his hip, and his thigh. It was speculated that sasaengs were following him, and when he tried to change lanes to ditch them, his car tires malfunctioned, causing this horrible accident. The accident left Hee-chul unable to perform Super Junior's sternest dances, and he has since contributed to the group mainly as a singer. The after effects of his injuries only worsened later due to his overexerting himself in the military, and he was never able to join Super Junior for a full performance again. This tragedy only made worse by the fact that he was on his way to a funeral. Hearing such stories, it is hard to imagine what idols go through in their daily, day-to-day lives. Poisoning Yunho of TVXQ. Some sasaeng stories are more terrifying than others because the targeted idols were on the verge of losing their lives, and Yunho's story is one of those. TVXQ is the most popular second-generation group, and all of the members of the group faced sasaengs who went to extreme lengths to stalk and ultimately harm them. In 2006, Yunho was given a glass of orange juice from someone he assumed was a staff member. He drank all of it, and before he knew it, he ended up in the hospital. Upon testing his blood, it was revealed that the juice had been laced with super glue, making Yunho vomit blood and pass out miraculously. Yunho made a recovery, but not without enduring a lifetime of trauma from the incident. He had to undergo extensive exposure therapy to overcome the psychological effects. It took a long time for him to recover, but being the bigger person, he didn't press any charges on that sasaeng. 2 p.m. Taeshan blood letter. There is no limit to sasaeng's obsession when it comes to loving or hating idols, and 2 p.m.'s Taeshan became a victim of this obsession. Back in 2019, Taeshan received a letter from a super fan, which instantly started getting a lot of attention online. How bad could a mere fan letter possibly be, right? After all, fan letters are nothing but a bunch of written messages about how much someone adores their favorite artist. Well, think again. Instead of being a sweetly written note with hearts drawn around it and glitter sprinkled in the card, it was instead a letter with the following words written in her period blood. I dedicate to Taeshan my period blood letter, okay, Taeshan? You cannot live without me, sprinkled with a few strands of my pubes. The person behind this disgusting stunt faced the internet's wrath. Once the incident went viral, the fans and netizens went on a witch hunt online, flooding her comments with hateful comments and ultimately making her issue an apology. But 2 p.m. and Taeshan's sasaengs didn't stop at pulling this gross stunt. When the group was touring in Singapore, Tae, in the privacy of his own hotel room, was asleep with no clothes on. To his horror, he was abruptly awakened by the sound of female giggles, only to find out that the group of fangirls had broken into his room and were staring at him. Can you even imagine how horrifying this would have been to experience in real life? EXO's Kidnapping. Speaking of sasaengs, EXO may very well take the cake with their stories. Their fans have gone as far as breaking into family weddings of the members, sneaking into their dorm rooms, stealing their belongings to sell online, attempted to break into their homes, and even leaking their phone numbers and home addresses. And this list goes on and on. But the worst by far was when there was a literal attempt to kidnap them by their fans. After finishing their schedule, EXO was walking to their van when their manager noticed something was wrong, so he stopped them from getting in. Turned out something was wrong because sasaeng fans had rented out a van identical to EXO's and parked where their van would normally be waiting, Luhan almost entered the vehicle but was luckily stopped by the manager. This incident happened when it was just the beginning of their career and they were not as popular as they later became. One can only imagine the horrors these sasaengs put them through in the later years. Attack on 17's member for not smiling. International fans with all their hearts want to attend a fan sign event once, but sometimes those who get to attend go around doing unbelievable things. 17 had a fan singing and a sasaeng fan got angry. Before anyone could understand the situation, she snatched the album from Seungkwan's hands and threw it at Joshua. And she didn't stop there, she began throwing everything she could get her hands on at Joshua. The entire event came to a standstill because of her actions, and a manager had to quickly escort the fans away from the members to ensure their safety. When asked why she was so angry, she said it was because she spent so much money to see him and he wasn't smiling. Kidnapping an idol from stage. In one of the most chilling incidents involves Sasaeng fans, SNSD Taeyoon narrowly escaped a kidnapping attempt right from the stage. During the group's performance, the Sasaeng managed to get on the stage and just started dragging Taeyoon away mid-performance. No one really seemed to grasp what was going on and continued with their performance. Luckily though, fellow member Sunny went after him and tried to stop him. The show's host finally managed to stop the man, and security staff intervened thereafter by apprehending the man and preventing further accidents. Audience members looked on with shock and were impressed with Taeyoon's professional attitude in returning and performing until the end. K-pop artists are known to be overworked to the bone and trained to continue the show no matter what. Taeyoon was likely afraid of getting in trouble if she stopped and caused more of a scene. 2 decades-long stalking of Kim Jungkook. K-pop legend Kim Jungkook was harassed by not one, not two, but a group of sasaengs from moving houses to changing cars. Nothing helped him to escape them, and his horrible stalking has now been going on for 20 years straight. Jungkook is known as the OG visual of the second generation. His charm drives fans crazy, and perhaps some went way too crazy. Breaking to his house became the norm for these sasaengs. Sharing his experience, he said, "Back when I used to promote in a group, the sasaengs would come into our house all the time. I was sent photos of my living room, bedroom, and kitchen to my phone, and I was in the photos. That means they quietly came into the house, took photos, and left. I don't know how they got my phone number, but they sent those photos to me." There was another shocking incident where sleeping Jungkook images went viral online. The sasaeng not only posted this online but also bragged about kissing him while he was asleep. And just recently, 6 sasaeng taxis were following him on his way home from a fan meet. The cars almost hit his car, and after this incident, Jungkook took to Instagram to call out sasaengs and beg them to stop. "It's been 20 years. Let's put an end to this. I haven't had to do so in a while, but here I am, checking behind me when I'm eating, making sure no one is following me while I'm walking. I'm busy running away from you all, trying to make money off me. Isn't it about time that you let me go already?" Jungkook has taken the stand, but is this toxic invasion of his privacy gonna stop anytime soon? No one knows. Jin. In January 2023, news regarding Seungjoon surfaced, which put his fans all around the world in worry. A military nurse had a personal relationship with a medic in Jin's division, and they conspired to approach Jin. She reportedly administered the secondary vaccination against hemorrhagic fever to Jin and went around sharing with others that Jin was in a lot of pain. During the investigation, it was found that the military nurse did not inform her superiors of what she had done. Fortunately, Jin was fine, but things could have been far worse. She could have injected him with something lethal and posed a serious threat to his life. This incident sparked a debate. BTS and other idols serve in the military as ordinary members, but let's face it, they're not ordinary citizens. They face security threats more than the general population. There are sasaengs inside the military too. And another recent example is when they stole Jungkook's personal diary and leaked all the information. G-Dragon also had tons of issues during his time in the military regarding his privacy, like military fellows taking his photos without permission and people stealing his medical records, all while he was in the hospital. After sustaining an injury, he was moved to a private hospital, but the hell still broke loose. Neds accused him of getting preferential treatment, and after he was discharged from the hospital, it took him joining the White Skulls, aka practically the SEALs of the military, to get some privacy. With Sasaeng stories, do you find the worst, or did your favorite idol also encounter any such incident? Let us know in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe for more such videos.